All
You
right,
ready?
Tim, how's it going?
Hey, Chad, going pretty good. What are you up to on this Friday night besides doing the Hog Call podcast?
You see it, man. You see it. I'm just doing the hog call, and you know what? For the first time ever, everybody else sees the Hog Call Podcast. It's just not you and me looking. It's everybody.
Yeah, now you can see what we're up to, and you're like, what in the hell are these guys doing? Now you can see. Live video stream looks really good. So I'm excited for this new edition of the Hog Call. Same edition, but new edition.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always fun when we add another element into the hog call. So that's always fun. That's always exciting. I'm just super happy that we're able to get together and talk about everything, and just kind of do our thing right here on air.
Yeah, I am too. I know, especially with less than a week away from. Well, a week away, sorry. A little bit more than a week away from Razorback football kicking off against the Rice Owls. We're really excited. I know this is our third of the season. Last week we talked about defense and special teams. Tonight we're going to be doing the offense. And no telling where that will go. But next week's going to be game preview versus Rice. We're here. This is exciting. There's some couple college football games tomorrow. It's better than no college football games. I think there's going to be more, obviously, even some pretty good ones Thursday, Friday night next week, and of course a big day Saturday. So we're in a great time. I think everybody needs this in this pandemic.
Heck yeah, man! We're here. It's time. We're getting it done, and I'm just super excited about how everything's going, and about how everything is just kind of coming together and wrapping up. I think it's going to be amazing. So.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm happy. I don't know. It's hard to explain. That didn't really, I kind of petered out there, but it's hard to explain how happy I am for having the video stream just in time for the start of the football season and then football season starting.
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree with you. It is, it's one of those things where you wait all year long just to get that second to be able to get out there and have fun and watch some football and drink a few beers and just have that communal experience with the rest of the Razorback Nation. And it's finally here. We're finally able to do it, and it's very exciting. And with the whole COVID situation and stuff, like you said, it feels like it's even more needed maybe than it was before.
And not that we're obviously we're not in the clear path of the pandemic being over. But last year we didn't even know if football was going to be played. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure with the high, almost pretty much 100% vaccination rate among the players and staff at Arkansas and a lot of SEC schools, I feel like we're going to have the season. And that part of the worry is not here this year. Last year we didn't know what the heck was going on. We had a new coach, all SEC schedule, and at least this year, you're just like, okay, we get to start off with Rice. You know what I mean? We're not starting off with the number 4 team in the nation, Georgia.
Exactly. No, I know exactly what you mean. And I've also been excited about listening to the coaches and listening to what they had to say about all the preseason things that we've heard about these practices and stuff. I think the biggest part was like the injury list for that spring game. There were several players that were, key players that were injured for that spring game. And, I don't know. You just want to see them get healthy and be able to play. And you just hope that they got enough time with the 2 weeks to get there,
Yeah, I hope everybody, I know there's a couple that they've held out of caution. I know Pittman has said that everybody should be a go. So I know they've held Burks out for a while but he's supposed to be back for Rice. And you really need him for obviously that game and the rest of the season. I know there's been some other guys wearing green shirts kind of getting held out of contact, but it sounded like they're all going to be ready to go by Monday and especially by Rice. But you want to see everybody healthy. I think we've really been pretty fortunate thus far in the injury, avoiding the injury bug this fall season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, like I said, the injuries, they're supposed to be injuries that are gonna, be like tweaked ankles and things like that. Nothing major, nothing major.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is a little bit worrisome that we do have tweaked ankles. We do have starters out there that have, several injuries for that spring game, and that's just 2 weeks out from the, from the regular games. So, I don't know.
No, it's football. Injuries going to happen. It's a
especially when
you don't want them to all. Yeah. I mean, you don't want them to, go shorts and helmets. Obviously all 20 or something fall camp practices. Yeah, but like you're saying, there's tweaks. There's been, I think, Traylon Smith had a turf toe happening. Traylon Burks, I can't remember what he's been bothered, but things that should be. There's been no ACLs, and you know what I mean, and big time. But hopefully, but you don't want those smaller, those tweaks and things to linger on throughout the season.
Exactly.
You don't want them to still be by Texas, especially then A&M, etc. Just linger on and just never recover. You want a full healthy roster. I mean, with Sam Pittman building this roster in the program, you want every kind of. You don't want any disadvantage. So let me put any more disadvantages. He's kind of been left with other head coaches, but hopefully everybody gets healed up.
Yeah, you definitely don't want silly things like injuries and stuff like that being the thing that is costing you games and so on and so forth. And of course, you're going in to play Rice, so it's not like you got to worry about that too much. I mean, we're talking about a team that hasn't beat Texas in 10 years or something like that. Or it's crazy. They're not that great of a team. So we should be able to go in there and roll over them, which would allow us to rest some guys, that maybe does have a, tweaked ankle or turf toe or something like that, And, I don't know. He held some guys back just because, they were a little bit banged up. And then he held a few guys back that were, majorly banged up. So, a lot of those players that didn't get in were players that just had minor little things, and if it was a game time situation, they would have played. But being it was a spring game, they didn't. But there were a few out there like Smith and Burks, like you were talking about, that wouldn't have played in a game because their injuries were, that bad. And so, I don't know. That's a little bit worrisome.
Yeah, especially for Rice, they probably wouldn't have pushed them out through Texas or a conference game. They probably would have pushed them a little bit to play. But against Rice, I mean, I don't want them playing Rice. I feel like that's a team we can handle. I feel like we've got enough talent and coaching to still handle Rice pretty good. But
yeah, absolutely. That shouldn't be a team. That should be a team that we beat, even if we do have a few guys out, right? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it rolls. I think, like you said, everybody's going to come out. Everybody's going to be healthy. They're going to get healed up. It's going to be good to go. Maybe we have one or two guys out, but nothing major.
Yeah, there's teams across college football dealing with big time losses already for the season or multiple weeks. So I'll take it.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know. Look, hey, if you haven't signed up for the Hog Call Fantasy League, you need to go ahead and do that. I think we're going to be drafting soon, and the league is going to be kicking off. So if you haven't had a chance to sign up for that, I would suggest go ahead and getting that taken care of.
Yeah, there's still a couple spots left. We really want. I have the goal to draft tomorrow night, the Saturday night of week 0. But we'd like to get more people in, so I can delay that till later on next week if we have to. But I'd love for everybody to sign up and get it in and be able to draft tomorrow.
That would be cool. So if you want to sign up, sign up. Draft is right around the corner.
Yeah, I mean we've got to get it. We've got to get it in before the season. Really, there's a good amount of games that there's going to be big time fantasy players playing on Thursday and Friday. So I can't wait till. I don't want to wait. I would say I was thinking earlier. I was like, that'd be cool to, do a live draft while previewing Rice. But then it's like, well, I mean, if it's especially when we're doing more Thursday nights, we couldn't do that because there'd be some games already happening. So let's get it in.
Yeah, I agree. So go ahead and sign up, get it done. That way we can get the draft done, and then we will get back with you on the next podcast how that draft went. Other than that, moving forward, I think we just need to really kind of look at the offense and kind of break things down and talk about, what we've heard, during the preseason practices and kind of what our guesstimates are. Of course, nobody's really been able to see too much. Even press is only getting about 20 minutes at the beginning of practice. It's all scripted and put on for them and stuff. So, you don't really know, what you got, and you just kind of have to go with what the coaches are saying. And I truly believe that is where you get the most information is from the coaches' press conferences and stuff because. Well, I mean, they're not really holding back. They're trying to hype up the program too and get things where it needs to be. But at the same time, a lot of times they're honest. And like whenever Pittman was interviewed, one of his interviews this past week, he said, that he was hoping that J.K. would look a little bit better and get a little bit more accurate and stuff. And so. You got that coming out, and then there's some people that have made guesstimates that they think Hornsby will overtake J.K. After the year starts. I don't see how that's the case. I don't think I could subscribe to that. I think J.K.'s the guy. I think he's gonna be the guy, and I think Hornsby's gonna be. Take more of a role like he took last year. And I think it's going to be easier for him to mentor Hornsby, having been in that situation, and be able to reach across to him and teach him, exactly how to run the offense. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all because then next year it just keeps that position rolling. Yeah,
I mean, Malik, they even threw some sets out there from last year. It was obvious that they were running when he was coming in on the goal line, so he wasn't ready. But there's been some. I mean, there's no way that he's going to be starting against Rice. I don't see him starting all year. I think it's KJ's team. It's been pretty clear from the coaches, from the players, from KJ himself, from any part of the program that KJ Jefferson's the starter, and for good reasons. He's proved it. He played as true freshman. I mean, he started against number 1 LSU at Baton Rouge. He got the key to the team against Missouri, and he performed very well. And everything else, he's improved. Kendall Briles they're honest, like you were saying. His accuracy's got to improve. They're honest about it, but that's it. I mean, yeah, he's not a Heisman Trophy guy. He's a redshirt sophomore. He's got a lot to learn. But they've also said they've really been impressed with his ability to run. I mean, he's what is he? Like 6'3", 6'4", 245. I mean, he's a big old boy. Hornsby's a lot thinner. And he's good, and they say kind of what his thing is, rolling out of the pocket and delivering that way. And I like having a good backup quarterback. I would hate for KJ to go down, but if he did, I think Hornsby could fare well. But I think just KJ's better right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what we're going to see. I think he's the guy. I don't see Hornsby beating him out. I think that's I don't know. That's a stretch. In my opinion, I do think that Warren Thompson could, become the go-to receiver. I do think that's a possibility. Ooh, Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, I mean, Pittman says he wants to play. He wants 8 or 9 guys in these, especially the SEC games, playing a lot. You know, Traylon Burks is going to be the number 1 guy. Mm-hmm. There's no question about that. But after that, somebody else has to step up. Whether it's Davion Warren coming back, he had a few touchdowns before he got injured last year, so he came back for a 5th or 6th year. Trey Knox kind of had a sophomore slump last year, but he's talented. You know he can do it. Then you talk about Warren Thompson, a big kid that transferred from Florida State. We've talked to him in previous podcasts. Really has got the capabilities to become a starter and really contribute for Jefferson and Jaquaylin Crawford in the slot position, really fast. Called him and Thompson, both 4-star wide receivers coming out of high school, so they've got the talent. And also John David White's played pretty good. Kendall Catalan, Jalen Catalan's brother.
Yep.
He's a senior, transferred. He's supposed to be pretty good. And then a couple freshmen, Keetron Jackson Jr. and Bryce Stevens that Pittman's talked about. That's really impressed him so far. So it's kind of we got a range of seniors and juniors plus a couple freshmen for the future that's going to be thrown in there and contribute. I think the wide receiver rooms really, I think it's got a lot of potential to help KJ out.
Oh yeah,
this year.
I think we have a lot of depth at wide receiver, and I think we have a lot of wide receivers that can get out there and do a really good job. We're just going to have to see who steps up and takes those roles and runs with it. And some guys will. There's going to be some guys that are just going to step up and do well. It happens most years. I used to say every year, but. But here's the thing, though. I think you're going to see us running the ball more than passing the ball. I think that's going to be more of our identity because you start looking at Traylon Smith, you got T.J. Hammonds, you got Oglesby, Dominic Johnson. You got a 2-headed monster and then a 2-headed monster behind the 2-headed monster. I mean, we got a lot of depth, and we got an offensive line that's coming back that is. Really good, really good. They are going to be your strongest offensive line we've had in a very long time. I think where you're hurting the most is at tight end. You got
absolutely.
You got Henry Hudson, and he's good. And he's done well, and maybe he'll have a breakout year, and that would be awesome if he did. But I think he's got the biggest asterisk, the biggest question mark by his name, and then you really don't have. Anybody behind him, right? You got Blake Kearns and with didn't we have a QB move over?
Yeah, Landon Rogers moved over. Mm-hmm. Is he a freshman or something? Either true freshman or retro freshman. He's in there. So yeah, obviously Hudson Henry, Blake Kearns. Like you're absolutely right about that being the position that's just lacking. Like when we were just talking about the receivers, how many we named off this tribute, and they're moving guys around. They had Dominic Johnson moved over to the tight end just to try to help out. And then Nathan Bax, I guess, is the 3rd string. Don't know much about him. Coley Jackson, he retired from football, battled injuries all throughout, and it's just really. But yeah, Landon Rogers, quarterback, moved over, so it's a tough room. So it's out, and Pittman, I think, said they're going to go a lot of sets without any tight end. Mm-hmm. But I think Traylon Smith's a running back that he's capable of, with his multi-talented, kind of what he can do at that position, where we can kind of even if you're dumping it down or kind of a draw play to him, I think oh wow, you got 4 receivers out here or whatever, they're definitely going to pass this ball, and then he's able to utilize his speed and quickness to.
Well, I mean, when I look at our receiver career and I look at our running backs, I want to see, play actions, and, what they like to do is a lot of RPOs, so that's what we're going to see in place of play action. So you're going to see these RPOs and then throwing the ball. So really what you want is somebody blocking, right? Like you want a tight end that can that can lock up a offensive lineman and hold him there for a few seconds before they release on the route.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's what hopefully Henry and Kern and then backs can do the job. I mean, that was just what Pittman was saying. He was thinking doing the 10 personnel, not having any of them out there. So I was just, that's not. They've been saying, they've been admitting all fall. It's a struggle position, but you never know. Maybe that's enough. Maybe those guys. I mean, Hudson Henry was highly touted coming out of high school. I mean, he was the number one tight end coming out. Curtin showed some really good ability last year. Stepped up big time last year. So, but it's all on them. They're gonna get the chance.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then you look at this line, dude. I mean, just our offensive line, almost all seniors, and the juniors are still really good players, right? I mean, they're still amazing. But you got Wagner Dalton, you got Ty Clary, you got Myron Cunningham, all out there, giving it their all, coming back, and then you got Luke Jones and Ricky Stromberg, and they're just great. They're a really well seasoned offensive line, and this is what we talked about last year and the year before, is how young our offensive line was, right? And how they were having to compete against these offensive linemen that were seniors and so on and so forth. I mean, we really were hammering that out in the podcast last season. So now you see us with a offensive line that is, has the experience, has had the time to, get in the weight room, get right, and it's exciting to see. I mean, it's exciting. I mean, we have an exciting offense. I don't know who these people are that don't think that we're going to have a great offense this year, but our offense is going to be really, really good. And our defense looks really, really good this year, too. So, and we talked about that. And it just fires me up and excites me because we have some real playmakers. I went and read the Texas articles, and I was reading their predictions when they play us. And these other people, these writers, whatever the hell they call themselves, they're definitely not journalists because they're not doing any investigation. We're talking about, Arkansas doesn't have any, talent coming over, and we should, beat them easily because they don't have, any talented players or whatnot. I'm like, what the heck kind of statement is that from a, media outlet? And I understand that, we're playing these folks at, that we're playing these folks and they want to beat us and they're homers and all that. I understand that. But for one, we already just beat tar out of them not too long ago. That's the first thing. And that was when we had a horrible coach, right? And then for two, they are just being dismissive of us and our program and our players and who we got because we have some excellent players. I don't know. Maybe it cut me deep. I don't know. But really made me mad when I read that because I was like, wow, we got some real playmakers on this team. And to say we don't have anybody coming back that is, elite level, that's just not right,
Yeah, I mean, I get the last couple of years we were kind of it was hard to find, you know what I mean? But I mean, just the running back room with the two-headed monster of Traylon Smith and Rocket Sanders, and then you got these guys. I think it's gonna. I mean, T.J. Hammond's had his best year last year finally, so he's going to be ready to make some big plays again. Oglesby and Dominic Johnson's had some really rave reviews from this fall camp, giving us some depth there.
And then
KJ's going to be awesome. Yep.
Oh yeah, I was going to say that Rocket, he wound up beating out Hammonds. He's second place. He's the number 2 guy now. I think that's going to be your breakout. I think he's going to be your other breakout player. That's the two to watch really. It's Thompson Warren and Rocket.
Yeah, I mean Sanders is going to get a big time load from as a true freshman because Traylon Smith's 5'9" and 190. He's not going to carry the ball 35 times a game. You're going to have somebody that big body, Sanders 6'3", 230. You know what I mean? That and a load. And also be out there able to block it to keep KJ from getting sacked.
And as fast as
yeah, go back
too. I mean, we haven't seen somebody that fast with that size since Darren McFadden. Really, I'm not saying he's going to be a Darren McFadden, but I'm saying we haven't seen anybody with this build at the running back position since Darren McFadden.
Yeah, absolutely. Go back to the line we were talking about. You've got guys like a couple years ago. We're like, man, Stromberg's out there, true freshman. He was the only other offer he had he had some smaller offers, and they of course came here. Dalton Wagner, he's been playing since freshman. Ty Clary started as a walk-on. Now he's a redshirt senior. Myron Cunningham came back for another year. He's on the All-SEC and honorable mention All-American teams. Luke Jones transferring over from Notre Dame. I mean, you got Bo Limmer's had experience, Brady Latham, Henderson, Clennon, Crawford, Jalen St. John. It's got a lot of these guys that, even as sophomore or junior backing them up, has had meaningful minutes just through the last couple of years trying to find somebody that can play. But that offensive line, and under Pittman, it's going to be better. It's going to get better. They're not going to stay at that level that they have been the last couple of years. It's going to be the best offensive line in several years.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's going to be a really good offensive line. And you got just a stable running backs behind them. Tight end position is weak. You need them right there blocking. It's really what you need. And you got a lot of really good receivers that you're able to hit. Off of these play action games that they're going to be playing, where they're playing these RPOs, and they'll be run pass options, and so it's really going to be difficult to stop our defense, I think, our offense, I think, because of the RPOs and the talent that we have at running back and wide receiver and a quarterback that can run that's a threat also.
Yeah.
So not having the tight end is kind of made up for with having a quarterback that can make it happen with his feet if he needs to.
Yeah, you're so right about that. And they've said they weren't able to do the RPO with Felipe Franks last year. He was working off that, he was in a boot when he wasn't playing last year. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So he wasn't full strength on it. I mean, God bless him for coming here, and even more so what he did last year as a stopgap for a quarterback. But yeah, you've got KJ just perfect with his run ability, able to take some. Hopefully, it didn't take so many big hits, but able to take some big contact. I mean, it's football. Able to run and escape some pressure and go in there and get them when we need a couple of yards. He's going to be able to get it. He's not going to, he's not going to be scared to run. He's not a run first quarterback. He's going to go through his reads first. But if he needs to, he's going to be able to get out of there and get us some positive yardage. And it's just he's a great option for that RPO. I'm ready to see what it looks like. It's going to be exciting.
What do you think Kendall Briles is going to, what do you think he's going to bring? Do you think he's got, what do you think, 25-30% of the playbook installed by now?
Sure. We'll probably be vanilla again, second year. You know what I mean? But
I hope we can punt.
Somebody's going to take that out of context. Yeah. Halfway decent punts. Of course, we're talking about the tight ends. And I think the depth is the main issue because Dow Loggins is going to coach those guys up as much as he can.
Oh, yeah.
Get them to contribute.
He might turn the whole thing. It might be totally different tight ends when we see that first game. We might be eating our words at tight ends, the weak position on the field. I could see that happening. I hope it does. I'd be happy, if it happens. Yeah. It'd be nice if they're bumping out there and catching little 2-yard passes and getting 10 yards on it, 5 yards on them, stuff like that. That'd be awesome. See them. Being able to be the hot route and kind of get out of the way and stuff. But, I don't know. With the RPO, you don't see it as much either, though. You don't really need those hot routes as much with that because you got the run pass option,
Yeah, and these guys, if they're able to just get a good lick on, even if it turns into a pass, get a lick on the defensive end or linebacker, then get out. Hey, if KJ needs to dump it off to him. I think also with the receiver, I think there's going to be a heavy emphasis on running the ball because I know Kenny Gotten, the new wide receivers coach this year. I know there's been a big emphasis for him, kind of getting his receivers to be better blockers. I think Justin Stepp's not been the best the last couple of years at that. I think they just weren't the physicality of the receivers, and I think that's going to help Trey Knox as well. Some of these other guys getting off the ball on these defensive backs, just that heavy emphasis on being physical as wide receivers and taking the run game seriously.
Yeah, it's always good whenever you attack the defense and you make them react to you as a receiver versus trying to react to them. And I like it. I like to see physicality amongst my receivers. I like it when a receiver locks up, turns the guy out, turns him towards the sideline when you got a sweep running, because it gets you 5 more yards, man. You might break that loose. If you're running a power sweep, you got a couple blockers out front, and your receivers are getting their blocks too. You're probably going to block the safety. I mean, you might get a touchdown off that. But it's an old
Lombardi play. Running backs we have. You never know with the running backs we have. I mean, they're able to. You never know when that extended block is just gonna hold on to those guys just a little bit longer. It's gonna make the difference between a 3-yard play and 30-yard play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, have Dalton running out there, lead blocker. Let him pull. You got to seal off the end, though. The tight end's got to seal the end on that, though,
Dalton Wagner, man. 6'9", 330. That's a big old boy.
Look at our line's weight compared to, look at our line's weight compared to, what we had last year. They have increased in size substantially. We have an actual SEC offensive line.
Yeah, these guys are huge. Being in the program, they've been able to kind of like some of the other ones. I mean, like Luke Jones, 6'5", 310. We already talked about Wagner being 6'9", 330. Ty Clary, 6'4", 320 pounds.
Cunningham's 6'6", 325. Good Lord, what a beast!
He's huge.
Man.
Yeah, yeah, he looks the part too. He's one of the guys that you could tell okay, he's got pro potential just by looking at him.
Mm-hmm.
So
and Jones, man, I mean, he's right behind him, 6'5", 310. I mean, not quite as tall, but God, Lee's got some size.
I swear under Morris, I don't know which of these guys. I swear we saw a 290, 295 offensive lineman.
Oh yeah,
playing
all the time, all the time. I think somebody was 285.
I think they did try. He said they dropped his weight. They tried to drop their weight.
Get them down to be little scrawny guys. That's the best. That's the best offensive line you can have in the SEC.
Going to get up against Bama defensive lines, LSU's defensive lines. That's going to work out.
Did you see the dad that came out and he was talking about, what they had to say about what his son went through whenever he played with Morris and stuff, and he was talking about the things they did. He was talking about he didn't eat lunch with them and stuff or nothing. They didn't see him unless it was practice or he was in front of the cameras. Other than that, he was just in his office, and I was just thinking, I couldn't imagine that, man. Golly,
what was he doing? I mean, we were awful. What? I mean, the schemes weren't what the hell was he doing? Back to Texas, I guess. I mean,
yeah. Well, he did do that a lot. I guess that is something to think about. But I just think it's crazy they didn't see him. They didn't hang out with. He didn't hang out with them. He didn't want to be part of the team. It's so weird, dude.
Why would he? I mean, why couldn't that have happened to another school? Why couldn't have LSU hired Chad Morris? You know what I mean? Or Missouri, Ole Miss.
Who else is going to hire him?
Why couldn't they have? A&M should have hired. Why couldn't they have hired Chad Morris when we could have just been laughing at him?
Look, here's the deal. Julia Cromer Peoples hired him, and she's horrible. And she fired Frank Schultz over at Ohio. And that was a bad mistake, too. We're fixing to see what happens with that this year. And I know this because that's where I got my master's. I'm an alum over there. It's like, wow, why would she leave Arkansas and then go to my other college that I keep up with? You know what I mean? Like, what the hell's up with that? That's bad luck.
She turned the worst college football hire into an AD job. I mean, and that's what she does. Just like, Salt, you've made Ohio's football program most successful years. I mean, we don't see how Nebraska got rid of you. We're never going to get rid of you except when it's on your own terms. And nope, pushed him out.
Yeah, one of the best coaches in the MAC. Like, just has been amazing the entire time. Like, leaves right before the start of the year. Like, that's not normal. That's the timing of that. And I know he made it, amicable and all that stuff, but.
Well, he's a professional. He's not going to come out and say, this, JCP, she just had it in for me and she's going to hire her own guy. She's probably going to bring in Chad Morris, give him another chance.
Oh, man, that'd be so horrible, man.
I did tell you that. I was joking with you. Half joking, because I thought maybe she would. I thought she'd give him another chance. She made the decision to hire him one time for a big-time job to Arkansas. Surely she'd be willing to.
It's not over.
At Ohio.
It's not over yet. Like, the offensive coordinator took over, long-time coach, long-time offensive coordinator. If he has a hiccup, has a bad year, I'm sure they're going to get rid of him pretty quick and bring somebody else in. What happens if Morris goes to some place and they do well and everybody's like, oh, he won him that championship. It was him at Clemson the whole time. I'll never believe that.
Clemson's best years have been since he left.
I feel like these people have been I feel like these people have been covering for him. I feel like they're like friends with him. They go to like Bible school and stuff together and hang out. They're all real Jesus-y folks, which is cool. There ain't nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying, they kind of take care of their own.
I just don't see how somebody could spend time with them. I don't see. I mean, I guess Malzahn's not really the guy that I can say wow, I'd really like to hang out with him a couple of weeks. And, you know what I mean? And I guess that people like that tend to flock together.
Mm-hmm. Whew, goodness gracious. Well, I don't know. Are we missing anything? Do we need to? Is that it? Is this the whole podcast?
Is that it?
I mean, we usually run on and on and on.
Well, I think we did 3 previews for the football season. I think usually we kind of combine offense and defense, and I really liked what we did. Gave some extra. And if you want to start the picks, we can do that. I know it's week 0, not really a whole lot of games, but if you want to start that, I'll keep up with it. You were the defending Hog Call Pick'em champion.
Well, somebody had to win.
So if you want to pick. All right. How about this one I'm going to watch it. I want to be tuned in. I can't help it. It's an addiction to watch college football. First game, 12:20 p.m. Central, 1:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Nebraska at Illinois. Scott Frost.
Bielema.
Already on the hot seat after a win versus Brett Bielema. Getting another shot.
Man, Frost hadn't been doing well. He's been over there for quite some time at this other school. And he did a really good job at his last school. So I think he's just now getting things where it needs to be. And he's coming there and just embarrass Brett Bielema on national TV. It's going to be glorious for us to watch the coach that ruined us and took us down a losing path get beat. But there could be some resentment in that pick, so
Yeah. I've got to go Nebraska. Can't do it, man. I just don't see.
I mean, it's Illinois. First off, they've been terrible forever. Forever, this team's been terrible, and there's been a lot of good coaches go there and fail. Also, it's like, you know what Coach Petrino used to call it? It's like the graveyard for coaches, where they go to die.
I really thought Lovie Smith, I thought that was going to work out. I thought he was a pretty solid pro coach when he got to Illinois. I was like, man, that's going to be, I think he's going to do pretty good there. I don't know. It's just, for some reason, I mean, a really good basketball program. You would think, out of anywhere kind of in that area, it's like, yeah, they'll be able to get any kind of recruit in the Chicago area, around there, St. Louis, place like that, and really just never. I think they made it to they made it to like one good year. I don't know, in the last 20 that I can even remember, when they had like Juice Williams. That was it though. They've been bad, so I'm gonna go with you to Nebraska. I wouldn't be surprised if Illinois, for some reason, it's just I don't know. I don't see them.
You know he's not going to win that game.
Nebraska just hadn't been good.
I wouldn't be surprised if Illinois led the game all the way up till the third quarter and lost.
Oh, yes. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. We've seen that time and time again. They're going to get up. Wow. That's exactly what's going to happen. We're going to talk about that next week.
First touchdown.
I can't promise you
First touchdown of the game, Illinois.
Yes, they're going to be leading after 3 quarters. Like, wow, Brett Beal, look at him. He's straightened himself up.
He's not drinking.
Look at him now, going to lead Illinois to the promised land. It's just blow it. Like he did. Rutgers, Bama, on and on and on. That's just the first couple years, just on and on.
28 point lead just vanished.
Right in front of those fans. First game of the year. Embarrassing.
Golly, it's gonna be nasty.
Tells his some of his staff, hey, need you to run down to the store. It's been a while. Exactly. That's terrible. Why would I say something like that, man?
Get what you got coming to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's next? There's more than one game, right? Is that
it? I'm sorry, man. UConn at Fresno. Pretty much. UConn at Fresno State.
Man, I just like the bulldog on their mascot, so I'm going to go with Fresno. But I don't know much about either of those teams, so it's a total guess, honestly.
Yeah, Fresno's definitely had a better program, but shoot, they're 27.5-point favorites, so probably a safe bet Fresno State.
Mm-hmm. That dude got a cool bulldog.
Yeah, he's mean. Hawaii at UCLA, that's a pretty game.
Oh, the Rainbow Warriors taking on the Bears.
Chip Kelly and the Bears.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with UCLA. I think they'll probably beat the Hawaii. But is it at Hawaii?
No, it's in.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with
UCLA.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with UCLA.
Yeah, me too. This one I have UTEP at New Mexico State.
Man, UTEP, Mexico. I like them a lot. They got a good program. I feel like they got a good program more than they don't. So I'm gonna go with UTEP.
That's a good bet. I think I'll go UTEP too. Southern Utah at San Jose State, the home of Nick Starkel, playing his 8th college football season.
Wow. Starkel playing?
Yeah, still playing.
He did really well. He did really well. He did really well.
Yeah, he was really good last year.
Like, really good. So I might have to go with San Jose on that one. I think they're going to, yeah.
Me too. There is a kickoff classic. Hold on, let me find this. I'm going to pick this one too. Tomorrow. Damn, give it. computer's running slow. One of these Intel processors, you know.
Yeah, that's how they,
Let's do.
Gotta get the M1. M1.
That's a big because I know it's on ESPN. It's Alcorn State at North Carolina Central.
Alcorn State at North Carolina Central. Okay, I'm going with Alcorn State.
Okay, that's I have to go Alcorn too. I didn't pick anything different for me, but he had some good picks.
Well, you want to be a winner too, man. You don't want to just go out on a limb on these things.
Well, these are all just looking at the, I don't know, man. Some of these spreads on these games are wow, they know something. All of them are 20-point. Yeah, some big favorites this first week. But I'm excited to get us started. I'm excited to move forward next week and really have some big games to talk about. But glad we started it this week.
Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a fun year. I'm really excited for it, and I'm glad all the fans are going to be coming along with us. The cool thing is we had some hiccups and things like that we had to get around. We got around everything. We came back bigger and stronger than we were before. So it is what it is. Anybody can just do an interview. Anybody can do that. Just interview.
Just get somebody on there and
still
hear the same old trope that you've been hearing. We're 100% Razorback content brought to you by us.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is, man.
I like it, man. I like what we're doing. I feel pretty good about it. I feel pretty good about this live stream.
Yeah.
For those that aren't on the video, yeah. I hope you'll watch. I think it looks good. I'd like to. If anybody out there send us some pictures, I'd like to see what y'all's Razorback rooms look like too.
Oh yeah, that would be cool if we get some pictures and see what your Razorback rooms look like. Put it up on Twitter, stuff like that. And what are you doing on game day? We should do a segment like that. You call in and let us know what you're doing or something. I don't know, man. That's nerdy. Is that too nerdy? Cool. Is that too Razorback nerdy?
No, I'd like to hear that. Please send us a voice message. We'll definitely play it and respond and like it. Email us, Facebook us, Twitter us. We'd like to hear some reactions and we'll talk about it on air.
I bet you if you sent us a video, I could put it up right there below ours. That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. A little 2-3 minute video. Just play it.
Be really cool.
Yeah. So, anyway, man, I don't know that I have anything else to say. I think next week is going to be a huge week. We're gonna get in the game week. It's going to get back to the Hog Call Podcast that you're used to. And from that point forward, I mean it's rocking and rolling because basketball rolls right in, hockey rolls right in. All the things that we cover that everybody else doesn't. It rolls right in. Mainly hockey.
Yeah,
because hardly anybody covers hockey.
Oh yeah, well, we're gonna be the show. I know they've picked up some steam. When they were in the championship that day, or whatever, those couple of days. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're hockey fans now. Ha ha ha! Well, we've been talking about it for all years we've been on this game. I'm looking forward to. I really want to go do some live stuff, maybe even a report live from the hockey game sometime this season. I really want to go to a game, have at least some Hog Call presence, show them there, maybe play a little clip. I know we did that for a game a couple years ago, but I really want to maybe just make a quick, voice recording at the game during hockey. I think it'd be pretty cool. Just something else to play on here. Really get into the season.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. We should how they stream the hockey game. We should like stream the hockey game on Discord or something one time and watch it. Like do a watch party. Wouldn't that be cool? Oh, hockey watch party. So
that would be cool.
Anyway, just shooting from the hip, man. Just, if you guys have any ideas, email them. Let us know. We'll implement it too, probably.
Oh yeah. That's like I was losing my train of thought. I went on a little tangent there, but definitely, like you're talking about, next week starts. We got a game week. Then after that, I mean, we'll be previewing a game. We'll be reviewing a game. And we'll be talking about hockey here in September. And then, like you said, another month in, basketball starts when all three of those sports are on here. We won't be saying, what else do we need to talk about? It's like, wow, man, that was 2 hours later.
Yeah, I know.
That's
right?
going to be some good. I'm ready for that, though. Those are going to be some fun. We need some Razorback sports. That's going to be a great time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, I just want to say I appreciate everybody that's out there that's listening, that's been following along with us, for quite some time. And even when we, had to rebuild our RSS feed and all that and regain subscribers, like we were back up and running, and so many of you guys just found us, immediately. It is amazing. So anyway, I just appreciate everybody's willingness to listen to us, take our opinion into account, and just enjoy, Razorback football with us, and enjoy Razorback sports with us.
Yeah, this is an exciting time. I think all the sports are doing pretty good, so join in on the journey.
Absolutely. Well,
call the Hogs with us.
I like it. Well, I guess that's about all we got, man. Honestly, I don't think we can drag this out much longer.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm sure somebody's checked out by now. So, until next time, go Hogs.
Woo Pig Suey.